The EThekwini Municipality has temporarily closed 4 bathing beaches pending investigations, and that's after they detected pollution there. Now, in a statement, the city says it's established a dedicated team comprising senior municipal management. The team will investigate the source of this pollution and implement appropriate mitigation measures. The affected beaches are Blue Lagoon, EThekwini Beach, Country Club Beach and Battery Beach. It's reassured holidaymakers that the 19 bathing beaches, though, will remain open. Let's get you a sense of what else we know about this. Bring in now Dr Simphiwe Ndlovu, who's with the EThekwini Municipality and in fact is the head of recreations and parks. Thanks very much indeed for making time to speak to us. Welcome to the SABC News channel. You know, we've heard over the past couple of weeks that in fact EThekwini is seemingly on the rebound after, of course, the closures of many beaches a few years ago. This is, I imagine, not the kind of news you'd want to be sharing with us, but help us understand how bad it's looking on these 4 beaches that you've now decided to close.
Good morning to you and to your listeners at home. Well, as a city, as you said earlier on in your introduction, we've taken some precaution measures to close those beaches temporarily, which is your Blue Lagoon, EThekwini Beach, Country Club and Battery Beach. Because we just wanted to make sure that we are testing those beaches again. We had issues with our infrastructure that we are busy sorting out. There's just a few broken pipes and blockages, few of those blockages as well. But we are also testing the river, Umgeni River, and we are doing regular testing because we want to make sure that when our bathers are coming, they are ready. But let me assure you that as a city, we are ready, and this testing is because we want to ensure that our bathers are safe, and which we are doing testing as we speak, and the results will be available this afternoon. But we do regular testing, and also we've got some measures in place that inform us if there are issues in our infrastructure. So we are on our game, and we do close these beaches because our system have indicated to us that there are issues, hence we're taking such measures.
When we talk about pollution, what kind of pollution are we talking about?
Look, when there's rain, for example, if you go to Umgeni River, it's brown. If you go to any beach that is Umgeni River is connected to, it will be brown. So because there's been heavy rain, I mean Durban has been experiencing, or KwaZulu-Natal, about 80% of rain in the past couple of days. But also, there will be some issues in terms of our infrastructure. That sometimes there will be some, repairs that needs to be done, and that will do time and time and again. So that's what normally causes the problem. But it's not a problem that we are not ready for, because as I said to you earlier on, we are always checking our system to ensure that when these issues or this challenge, or we are facing challenges, we can act immediately. Especially now that is a festive season. In the past day, on the 16th of December, I'm sure as we are playing the clip, you can see that how our visitors were happy, and all over our shores in our 100 kilometers of coastline, and everything was fine. But just immediately after that, we picked up that there may be some issues with those 4 beaches, and hence we decided to take those precaution measures as quickly as we could.
All right, you make mention of infrastructure multiple times there, so I'm assuming this is also sewer spillage into these beaches.
Well, yeah, but that's why we do investigate that. It sometimes becomes that because of you may find that there are some broken pipes, which it's a normal thing that you'll find everywhere in the world. Hence, we try that our investigating team, our dedicated water and sanitation team are always on the ground to fix those problems. And those will always happen now, time and time and again. You cannot run away from infrastructure that may be having some problems. All you need to do is to quickly act and go fix that infrastructure so that our beaches can return to normality.
Well, ideally it doesn't happen at all, Mr. Ndlovu, especially for a province where something like this has been in the news before. I mean, the last time that there were issues in EThekwini, it was more or less the same thing. We're told that there was a lack of maintenance on infrastructure, and sadly some of that stuff that shouldn't land up in the ocean was heading there. The question then becomes, what are some of your colleagues in the metro telling you about when they can finally sort out this issue, given how long-standing it's been?
Look, the issues have been sorted out. Let me just assure you on that one. As I said to you, every time when there's a problem, we need to go and test. In fact, we decided to test every day. Every week. Remember, the water authorities, they give us an allowance to test within 14 days. But we need to test because that is our mandate also to ensure that our beaches are safe. And as I said to you, infrastructure repairs, infrastructure issues will always happen time and time and again in anywhere in the world. It is not only at EThekwini. And you would agree with me that in the past couple of months, a couple of years, after the disaster that we faced as a city, the city worked very hard to fix the infrastructure that collapsed due to the storm disaster that happened. And look, it's not an easy task that you can do overnight. So it took us a very long time to fix the infrastructure, and of course we did. And we did ensure that everything went back to normal. But of course, because we time and time and again, we face heavy rains again, and there will be some issues that we'll face, and then we need to go back and correct those. So as I was saying, that the team picked up that there were pipes that were also broken, which were fixed immediately. It didn't even take 10 hours to do that because we picked up those pipes. That is why not all the pitches are affected, only 4 from the 20. So we've got 19 that our bathers are using, and we're quite happy with that. But I can assure you that by the end of the day today, we'll have all the 23 back. We just do the testing right now, and we have fixed everything. Right now we are ready, but we need to ensure that we are testing and to then communicate to our public that we will now reopen those 4 beaches.
All right. And that was going to be my last question to you, but it's pretty much answered. So it's just these 4 beaches that have been affected. And once again, just for our listeners' interest, it's Blue Lagoon, EThekwini Beach, Country Club Beach, and Battery Beach. And you said by the end of today, you expect all 23 to be usable again.
Definitely, because as I said to you, we are currently testing. The testing results will be available this afternoon. And then I've just spoken to one of my colleagues from water and sanitation right now, and then he said everything is ready, but we need to test, again, so that to ensure that everything is cleared. And I can assure you by today, we'll open those 2 beaches by tomorrow, because obviously the results will receive them in the afternoon.
Sure.
But we are ready. We thank you very much. And I want to invite you and your family members and your friends. They must come to Durban.
Okay.
Durban is the place to be this.
I'll give you a call when I land. Thanks very much indeed for the time. Dr. Simphiwe Ndlovu, appreciate it. The Head of Recreation and Parks for the EThekwini Municipality.